Ladies and gentlemen, the Railroad Hour. And here comes our star-studded show train. Tonight, the Association of American Railroads presents the world premiere of a new musical version of The Little Minister by Sir James M. Barrie, starring Gordon MacRae and his delightful guest, Dorothy Warren Show. Our choir is under the direction of Norman Luboff, and our music is prepared and conducted by Carmen Dragon. Yes, tonight another exciting Play with Music is brought to you by the American Railroads. The same railroads that bring you most of the food you eat, the clothes you wear, the fuel you burn, and all the other things you use in your daily life. And now, here is our star, Gordon MacRae.
Thank you, Marvin Miller, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Well, sir, tonight, Lawrence and Lee have joined Sir James M. Barrie's famous The Little Minister with the glorious melodies of Barrie's native Scotland. So here's another Railroad Hour first. Dorothy Warrensholt is the tantalizing gypsy girl, Babby, and I shall be Gavin Dishart, The Little Minister.
What does your heathen laddie wear? Oh, what, lassie, what does your heathen laddie wear? A coal black coat of velvet to match his coal black hair, and there's none in the world that with my true love compare.
They say in Scotland that a minister should be a tall man, that when he speaks of heaven, the top of his head should be as close to it as possible. In this connection, I was singularly unsuited for the ministry.
You're not what I would call a particularly long man, Gavin, but it doesn't matter. If you stand on your tiptoes in the pulpit and let the thunder roll in your throat, who will notice the long or the short of it, my son?
I thank you, Mother. I only hope the people of Thrums will share your views. The village of Thrums was my first call to the pulpit. A tiny speck of a place, but home to a few hundred weavers and farmers. And as the carriage rolled along the cobble street to the minister's mansion, my mother's eyes were wet with joy.
Gavin, it's all come true. This Sabbath I'll be hearing a sermon preached by my own son, God lead him.
Aye, Mother. Driver, stop here.
Mr. Dishart, I believe.
I am Mr. Dishart.
May I welcome you, sir, to the village of Thrums. My name is Thomas Whamond, one of the elders of the kirk.
This is my mother, Mr. Whamond.
I bid you welcome, ma'am, with a word of caution, if you please.
Caution?
Keep your windows barred and your doors bolted at night.
But why?
There's a band of gypsies in Catham Wood.
But I'm nae afraid of gypsies.
Then there's him that lives on the hill in the castle there, Lord Rintoul.
Now, surely, sir, the people of Thrums harbor no hatred in their hearts.
2 months ago there was a riot, and we're expecting soon that Lord Rintoul will call the redcoats to round up the ringleaders. And the welcome they'll get will make it wise for peace-loving folk to be inside, sir.
I forbid it.
What?
I forbid any members of my kirk to partake in riots or violence while I am minister in Thrums. Let the ringleaders be captured. And why should you, an elder of the kirk, defend them?
Mr. Dishart, I am one of the ringleaders they're coming after.
My heart turned sick within me. Thrums was no sleepy, peaceful place, but a powder keg spoiling to be exploded by the British Redcoats and Lord Rintoul. I wished myself far away from Thrums. I wished myself back to the Glasgow coast in the Clyde country, where I'd spent my happy childhood. Hame, 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 oh, hame, fain what be, hame, hame to mine country. There's any that ever weeps, and a fair face will be plain as I pass through on water. We my bonny bands again. When the flower is in the bud and the leaf upon the tree, the lark shall sing me hame to my country. Hame, 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 oh, hame, fain what be, hame, hame, hame. Then came the fateful night of the 17th of October, when the whole of my life turned upside down and inside out. I was coming home from a call on Sanders Webster, the mole catcher. 'Twas bright moonlight as I walked into Cottonwood along the straight road they called the Windigoon. All of a sudden, I saw something that made me stop shock still. I saw a young girl dancing along the Windigoon, her bare feet flashing in the moonlight, and the dark hair streaming out from her head like black water o'er the rapids of Glen Quaraty.
Down and pulled on horse of leather, oh, the ragged rakes of our dawn have gone with the raggle-taggle gypsies, oh.
Woman!
Hi.
Is it not a late hour for you to be walking the Windigoon alone?
It is not a late hour for a gypsy. And I wasn't walking, sir. I was dancing.
Dancing is a device of the devil's.
Now, don't be giving the devil credit for such inventions. It'll do much to increase his popularity.
Woman, you are speaking to a minister of the gospel.
Oh, what a pity. Such a small one, too.
Woman,
I didn't care to make you angry. Forgive me, little minister.
I'll forgive you. Where do you live, Gypsy?
In a tree.
No, nonsense. Where do you sleep at night?
I told you. In a tree. Or in the open field sometimes.
Oh, you poor child. Last night I slept on a goose feather bed, with a sheet turned down so bravely low. And tonight you'll sleep in a cold open field, along with the raggle-taggle gypsies,
Oh, don't waste any of your sympathy on me, little minister. Oh, what care I for a goose feather bed with a sheet turned down so bravely, oh.
For tonight we're to sleep in a cold open field, along with the raggle-taggle gypsies, oh. Along with the raggle-taggle gypsies, oh. My name is Gavin Dishart. I'm the minister of the Auld Kirk in Thrums. And what do they call you, Gypsy?
My name is Babby.
Babby? has a sweet sound. Well, if I can ever do a service for you, Babby, I hope you'll call on me.
Now, you can do a service for me right now. And you see this horn?
Horn? What horn?
Here, under my cloak. Let me hear you blow this horn.
And why should I do that?
Ah, I thought as much. You haven't the breath to blow it. You're a wee man.
Give me the horn.
I never would have thought you had so much wind in you. Preaching must be good for the lungs. Now, give me back the horn.
Wait. What's that on your finger?
A ring.
'Tis a diamond ring.
And is there a law in Scotland that a gypsy can wear a diamond ring? My thanks to you, little minister.
Wait. Where do I look for you, Gypsy? To find you again.
I told you. I live in a tree.
Don't jest with me, lass. How will I find you if the need should come?
Oh, whistle and I'll come to ye, me lad. Oh, whistle and I'll come to ye, me lad. Though father and mother and all should go mad. Oh, whistle and I'll come to ye, me lad. And tell me, little minister, am I wrong to suppose that the same plan will hold if I choose to call you?
Aye, lass. You follow the same plan. Oh, whistle and I'll come to ye, my lass. Oh, whistle and I'll come to ye, my lass. You're so blithesome and blithesome, no lass can surpass. Oh, whistle and I'll come to ye, my lass. At Kirkconnell market, where'er ye meet me, gang by me as though that she cared not of me. But steal me a drink, oh, your bonny blood. Yet look as he were now looking at me. Yet look as he were now looking at me. You're a funny lass, Gypsy.
And you're a braw laddie, minister.
Who blew the horn?
What?
Who blew the horn? 'Tis the signal that the redcoats are marching to Thrums. The whole village is aroused and gathering on the common.
'Twas a mistake, a trick, Timus. There are no soldiers on the march.
What's that, if it's not the soldiers?
Gypsy? How did you know the soldiers were coming?
Oh, I know many things.
The saints in heaven praise the man who blew the horn. He gave us proper warning to stand up and fight.
But I gave the warning. A minister of peace. I sounded the war cry.
And loudly, too.
You're a demon, Gypsy, a creature of the devil.
Oh, thank you for the kind words, minister.
Kind words?
Oh, you couldn't be so angry with me, Gavin, if you didn't love me a little.
Love you?
Oh, Gavin is my darling, my darling, my darling. Oh, Gavin is my darling, the new young minister.
Do not say such things, Gypsy.
'Twas on a Sunday morning, right early in the year, when Gavin came to our town, the young minister. Oh, Gavin is my darling, my darling, my darling. Oh, Gavin is my darling, the little minister. Is it not true, Gavin Dishart? Can you deny it in your heart that you love me a little?
I cannot deny it, Gypsy. I cannot deny it. Oh, Babby is my darling, my darling, my darling. Oh, Babby is my darling, the young gypsy girl. She tempts me with her devil look, the devil's in a hurry. But I am helpless when her smile is turned on to me. Oh, Babby is my darling, my darling, my darling. Oh, Babby is my darling, a young gypsy girl.
is Act Two of the Lawrence and Lee dramatization of The Little Minister, starring Gordon MacRae as Gavin and Dorothy Warrenshold as Babby the Gypsy.
She disappeared, did Bobby. After that night, she tricked me into blowing the horn to warn the people of Thrums against the redcoats. A riot there was in the comedy that night, a bloody riot. And I, a minister of the kirk, was the cause of it. Was ever a man's heart such a battlefield, at war with his own good senses? I hated the gypsy for her treachery, but I loved her too, for the sweetness of her smile and the funny, proud way she had a tossing her head in the moonlight. Oh, my love is like a red, red rose that's newly sprung in June. My love is like a melody that's sweetly played in tune. As fair thou art, my bonny lass, say deep in love am I, and I will love thee still, my dear, till all the seas gang dry.
Gavin.
Babby! And what are you doing in the minister's garden?
Oh, wondering who the lassie might be that you're singing about so bravely.
You know her name, Babby. You know it. 'Tis no different from your own.
Till all the seas gang dry, my dear, and rocks melt with the sun, and I will love thee still, my dear, while sands on life shall run. But fare thee well, my only love, and fare thee well a while. And I will come again, my love, though 'twere 10,000 I must go now.
No, Babby. You'll stay here in the minister's manse. I'll not have you sleep this night on the cold ground.
Oh, please, Gavin, let me go.
You're my bride-to-be, Babby.
No.
Will you marry me, lass? Will you be my wife?
A minister cannot take to wife a gypsy girl.
Do you love me? Do you love me, lass, with a full heart, as I love you?
Oh, yes, Gavin. Yes, I love you. Yes.
Then we've but to set a date for the wedding.
I canna marry you, little minister. I canna marry you ever.
Why not?
Tomorrow's my wedding day. I shall be the bride of Lord Rintoul.
No.
How do you think I knew the soldiers were coming? Where did you think I got the diamond ring on my hand?
I refuse to believe it.
Everything I have, I owe to Lord Rintoul.
You're a gypsy girl.
I was. When my gypsy mother left me to die by the edge of a road, 'twas Lord Rintoul who found me, took care of me, brought me up. Where do you think I sleep o' nights, Gavin? In a goose feather bed at the castle on the hill.
I don't believe it.
But the gypsy feeling steals over me all the time, and I cannot stay there.
Do you love him, Babby? Do you love this Lord Rintoul?
I do not love him, dearest. You know I love you.
Well, then you'll not marry Lord Rintoul tomorrow, for you'll be the wife of Gavin Dishart tonight. Arm in arm, we left the twisty roads of Thrums for Cadham Wood. And there in the gypsy camp, with the night sky of Scotland for a temple, we were married by the gypsy king. I had completely forgotten the prayer meeting at McKirk. The townspeople of Thrums sat in the pews waiting and wondering why their little minister didn't come to them.
People of Thrums, do you wonder why your minister's forgotten ye?
What happened to the little minister?
I'll tell you what. He's run off into the woods with a gypsy lass.
No, you lie, Thomas Drummond. It is not true.
I seen him walking shameless down the Windigoul. I tell ye, Mr. Dishart is nae fit to be our minister. As elder of the kirk, I say we must run him out of town.
As the congregation burst out of the kirk, the storm cut loose. The great storm, they still called it in the country round about. It seemed the valley of Thrums was under the lip of a pump that was pouring water down. Not drops, but in a solid stream. The low ground by Cottonwood was flooded in an hour. The Windigoul was turned into a raging river. I lifted my new bride in my arms as the water swirled angry about my knees.
We can't, Gavin. We can't get back to Thrums.
Dinna be afraid, Bobby, darling. 'Tis the will of God. By a blue flash of lightning, I saw faces on the high ground across the Windigoul.
Mr. Dishart, cross to the high ground while you can. The water's rising fast.
It's too late, Tamus. It's too deep already.
Oh, Gavin.
Do not risk your lives for us, but hear what your minister has to say. If you're angry to find me here with a gypsy lass, I tell you, she is my lawful wife, before eyes of God and man, and ye will honor her as such after we're gone.
No, Mr. Dishart. No, you'll not die. Pray God in heaven forgive us for what we thought about our little minister.
Oh, Gavin, I can't hold on, darling.
I'll hold you, Babby. A hymn of praise to the eternal glory of the Lord. Almighty fortress is our God, a bulwark never failing, our helper he amid the flood of mortal ills prevailing. Then still our ancient foe doth seek to work his woe. His craft and power are great, and on with cruel hate, on earth is not his equal. Mr. Ogilvy, are you there?
Aye, Gavin, the schoolmaster is here.
Tell it gently to my mother what has happened this night.
Aye.
To Lang Tamus, I leave my Bible with a brass clip. To Peter Tosh, I leave my watch and gold chain. And dinna forget, I owe 5 shillings to Henry Munn for mending my boots.
Do not talk that way, little minister.
There'll be prayer meeting Thursday night as usual. The elders preside.
Nay, Mr. Dishart, we're tying our coats together to make a rope. You and your new bride will not let you die. Sing out, men. Sing!
Let goods and kindred know this mortal life of sorrow, of body they may kill. God's truth abideth still. His kingdom is forever.
reach out, Mr. Dishart. Take my hand.
Aye.
Hang on.
Aye. We're safe. We're safe, Bobby.
The Lord be praised.
Mother,
Aye, Gavin.
this is my wife, Babby.
Mother Dishart?
Come to me arms, lass. Come.
Oh, Mother Dishart, I'll make him a good wife.
Aye, I know you will, Babby.
Gypsy or not, Mother, she'll be the best minister's wife in all of Scotland. Gypsy King, her wed us,
And the choir who say Amen.
and I'll never again from her Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Charming Dorothy Warrenshall will return in just a moment. And our thanks to Gloria Gordon, who played my mother, to Eric Snowden, who was Lang Themis, and to our entire company. The Little Minister by Sir James M. Barrie was dramatized for the Railroad Hour by Lawrence and Lee. The Railroad Hour is brought to you each week at the same time by the American Railroads. You know, Marvin, I was very much interested in that conversation we heard earlier in the program about railroad freight rates and the small effect they have on prices generally. I don't think I ever quite realized what a real bargain we get from railroad transportation.
Well, here's another thing I think will interest you, Gordon. Even with the recent increase, today's railroad freight rates are an even smaller part of prices generally than they were before World War II.
Right, Marvin. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here again is lovely Dorothy Warrenshall. Well, Dorothy, did you get into dry clothes last after swimming the floodwaters of the Windy Gould?
Well, I've learned my lesson, Gordon. Never come to the Railroad Hour without your water wings.
Well, we'll be a couple of Americans in Paris next week, Dorothy. But I promise you we won't have to swim the English Channel.
Well, that's a relief, anyway.
It's a delightful story about romance in the very shadow of the Eiffel Tower, and it's called Springtime in Paris.
Ah, et puis, Monsieur Macré, jusqu'à lundi prochain, bonsoir et bonne chance.
Crazy, Dorothy. Let's not overdo it.
Good night, everybody.
All aboard!
Friends, it looks as though we're ready to pull out, and so until next Monday night and Springtime in Paris, this is Gordon MacRae saying, bonsoir.
Gordon MacRae can be seen starring in Warner Brothers' About Face. Our choir is under the direction of Norman Luboff, and our music is prepared and conducted by Carmen Dragon. This is Marvin Miller saying goodbye until next week for the American Railroads. Now stay tuned for your Monday night of music on NBC.
Tonight, Risa Stevens stars on The Voice of Firestone on NBC.